What you're about to see today is absolutely dark. A compilation that I have been waiting to make for a long time. It crosses all limits of science fiction and will reveal before your eyes how terrible the human mind can be. Everything you will see here is authentic. It actually happened in real life. Mind control through television and even experiments that revealed that the astral plane truly exists. None of this is a conspiracy theory or the beliefs of a few. You can see the official documents. They were real investigations carried out by the most powerful governments in the world. You better be prepared, because my name is Leonore Clay, and this is The Darkest Secret. Today we present the Sinister mind control patent and 3 other secret documents that if they had not been published, nobody would believe. Number 4. What you're about to see next was one of the biggest global scandals in the 1970s. Almost all the powers of the time looked at the United States with repulsion due to the macabre act that had just been uncovered. I'm talking about the popular case of MKUltra, an organization that was created in the most secret foundations of the CIA. The MKUltra would have operated clandestinely in the government for no more and no less than 20 years. But what was it about? And why is there absolute terror when talking about it? Well, it's worse than you imagine. It was initiated by order of Alan Dulles, then director of the CIA. It was created with the goal of experimenting with substances to control the human mind and thus obtain better information in interrogations. But it quickly escalated to become a completely terrifying and illegal agency. From the public documents that you can read yourself, the following is extracted. The program would have ordered hundreds of agents to investigate American and Canadian citizens to find out their relationships with other people. When they found someone rather lonely, someone who would not be missed after a mysterious disappearance, they kidnapped them. Yes, I remind you that all this is real. It actually occurred. They kidnapped mainly homeless people, but reports of blue-collar, office workers, and any other lonely person were also registered. These unfortunate people were subjected to the worst tortures that literally destroyed their minds. The declassified documents describe several achievements, but the one that stands out the most is a substance capable of making its victims behave in an erratic, stupid, and completely destructive way. It could make someone respectable insane from one day to the next, begin to make the worst decisions to discredit themselves. In fact, there are those who believe that this substance is used today to cause famous faces to change drastically. It is also believed to be responsible for erotic acts in public figures, even to keep certain presidents under control. They also obtained a substance that injected false truths into people, causing a subject to completely forget his parents, and then convincing him that both had perished in a tragic accident. Imagine the scope of this. Nobody knows for sure what they did with all these advances. Number 3. What lies in this position does not belong to the CIA or any particular government. This is a patent published in 2003. You can see it from the official patent site on Google. What's special about this will give you chills. It describes step by step and in great detail. By using adjustments of colors, brightness, and certain tones, You can influence the perceptions of the individual who may feel relaxation, feelings of depression, see color patterns even with eyes closed, an intense feeling in the stomach, and even at certain frequencies, an increase in libido. The patent makes it clear that an old television is not necessarily needed, which can easily be done through the screen of a computer or cell phone. The only thing that is needed is a screen that faces the individual. Like every patent, it is complete and describes the entire process to replicate it. Imagine what a private company could do by acquiring and experimenting with this technology. Number 2. The following was not taken from any forum or amateur page without any type of credibility. The information that I come to show you at this point of the investigation can be seen by yourself directly from the official CIA website. You heard right. It was published by the CIA and was filed as top secret for 30 years. It is a strange document that contains evidence about a secret exploration that was carried out on Mars. If you search on Google for CIA Reading Room's Mars exploration, you will see that the first link is from the official CIA website. There you will find the document called 1984 Mars Exploration. Everything I will present to you below is a summarized extract of what appears within that document. You see, according to the text, on July 25, 1976, the Viking probe photographed the red planet. Different images arrived, but there were some that caught the attention of scientists. For example, a strange face that after investigation revealed that the surroundings had shapes with size so symmetrical that they could not have been created naturally. Here, everything becomes extremely mysterious. After learning this information, the CIA carried out an experiment where a person was regressed and asked to physically travel to the red planet. Before you think this is crazy, I remind you, it was carried out by the CIA. The entire report is online from their same website. There must be some truth to this activity for them to have taken the time to do it. On the first attempt, the psychic perfectly described the surface of Mars, information that he should not know. That is when the experiment continued. An agent handed the psychic an envelope with the following information. Target: Planet Mars. Time of interest: 1 billion years BC. When the psychic was able to synchronize with time and place, he was given coordinates that took him very close to the face of Mars. A few minutes later, the psychic said he could see big pyramids, but the sky looked stormy, like there was a geological problem. He believes what he sees is what was left after a huge geological situation. So people asked him to travel back in time before that disaster. When he was able to synchronize, he was surprised. He says he could perceive large structures with angles and megalithic shapes, with flat surfaces like enormous walls. He could see very thin and tall people. It seems that they are all wearing strange clothes. Then the agent asks him to move from that location to another. Then the psychic says, "Now I am in a kind of canyon with walls so high that they seem to have no end. The walls seem carved. They have caverns, as if they were rabbit dens. They have corners and rooms." After a pause, the agent asked a question to another scientist in the room, who confirms the information and says that what the psychic describes could be correct. Again, I have to stop and remind you that this is serious. This experiment with these results were really done by the CIA. I'm sorry for repeating it so many times. The information is so disruptive, it seems as if it had been taken from anywhere but a reliable source. Let's continue. The scientists move the psychic again to 4 other specific locations. In one of them, he says he sees a kind of obelisk in which people say they perceive a low electrical frequency, as if they kept the subject connected to some kind of machine. The individual says that he sees pyramids, which seem to have been designed to withstand the terrible sandstorms that they have. They ask him to enter one of those pyramids and talk to someone who is there. The individual is shocked by the size of the pyramids. People, he says, they look old, like they are dying. He says that they are looking for some way to survive, but they just can't. He says he left with a group of them to find a new place to live. Finally, the agents ask them to find out when they left and where, to which they respond that they saw a kind of ship with smooth walls, a spaceship, and that they went to a planet with volcanoes, hurricanes, and a lot of vegetation. Obviously, it refers to Earth. The agent then wakes the individual from the regression and finishes the document. This document is incredible. If these types of talents were nonsense, an organization as serious as the CIA would not take the time to do an experiment with her. This document is incredible. If these types of talents were nonsense, an organization as serious as the CIA would not take the time to do an experiment with her. Another thing that catches my attention is that the agent hardly asked him about the appearance of the Martians, as if he previously knew what they were like. Added to this is that apparently these organizations have very precise places of interest on this planet. Number 1. What could be worse than substances to control people or documents that describe hidden powers from television screens? What lies in this position goes light years further than all this, even everything physical and understandable. It's another declassified CIA document, a completely serious and secret study carried out by the United States Department of Defense, the result of which could completely change the world as we currently see it. It has a name: the Analysis and Evaluation of the Entry Process. The title may confuse you, but the entry process is a very mysterious activity that I will describe below. All those activities that you must carry out in order to understand, believe, and reach the astral plane are called the entry process. Meditation, regressions, and even hypnosis are part of it. If you're a logical person, this may all sound like garbage to you. But let me tell you that the result the scientists obtained in this document leave no room for doubt about the existence of this type of thing. In the diagrams, the CIA shows us a description of everything that happened physically and chemically to the brain when meditating, when falling under hypnosis, or when practicing regression. And it was found that parts of the brain that are naturally isolated can be united, causing another level of awareness, a level of consciousness that is capable of taking us to what the document labels as the absolute. According to the study, the absolute would be a moment or place in the universe that transcends time and dimensions. Aside from meditation and other practices, the document also talks about the level of truth and techniques to achieve the out-of-body state, a state that takes your consciousness to travel to the absolute. In the conclusion, it is made clear that to better understand the astral plane and to reach it effectively, it is necessary to carry out other experiments. Without a doubt, this entire document is full of mystical things. Something that is extremely strange that has been investigated by such a serious organization. Could it have been some kind of fake file created to scare other powers? Or on the contrary, would it have been a serious investigation with serious results? Leave me your opinion in the description. I hope you liked this video because we have already reached its end. Share with your friends so they are also surprised by these investigations. My name is Leonore Clay, and this was The Darkest Secret.